Most people think men cheat because something is missing at home. The marriage wasn't good enough, the sex wasn't exciting enough, the wife wasn't loving enough. But that's the lie we tell ourselves to make the pain make sense. The truth is far more complicated and far more uncomfortable. Because there are men who have the perfect wife, the perfect home, the perfect support system, and they still walk outside their marriage and betray the one person who never betrayed them. So why? What did the other woman have? What made them risk everything for someone who wasn't prettier, wasn't better, wasn't more loyal, and often wasn't even long-term material? Well, it wasn't her body, it wasn't her beauty, and it wasn't her confidence. It was the emotional position she held. This is the truth about why men are drawn to certain women that society misunderstands. It's not about being mean, difficult, or withholding. It's about holding an emotional position of self-respect and boundaries that creates natural attraction and respect rather than breeding contempt through over-availability and self-abandonment. Most relationship advice tells women to be nicer, more understanding, more accommodating. But that advice often backfires catastrophically, creating dynamics where women give everything and receive diminishing returns, where their love becomes taken for granted rather than treasured. The painful truth is that many women lose relationships not because they weren't loving enough, but because they were too available, too accommodating, too willing to abandon themselves to make someone else comfortable. Hi, I'm Gabriel Hart from My Daily Love, and in this video we'll talk about why men are drawn to bitches and exactly how to transform from overgiving to confident without losing your warmth or authenticity. Number 1. What the word bitch really means. Let me start by redefining this word because it's been weaponized against women who dare to have standards. When I say bitch in this context, I'm talking about a confident, self-respecting woman who doesn't let anyone walk over her. Someone who values herself enough to maintain boundaries and standards. This isn't about being cruel, cold, or difficult. It's about refusing to diminish yourself to make others comfortable. It's about maintaining your dignity, your self-respect, and your standards even when pressured to compromise them. The problem is that being overly nice or overly available often reduces attraction and respect. When you're predictable, always accommodating, never pushing back, always available, you become like furniture. Comfortable, useful, but not particularly valued or protected. Men don't consciously think, I should disrespect women who are nice to me. But unconsciously, when someone is always available, always accommodating, always bending to their preferences, they stop feeling the need to work for that person's presence, attention, or affection. Think of it like this: things we work for, we value. Things handed to us freely, we often take for granted. When you're always nice, always available, always accommodating, you're handing yourself over freely rather than making someone invest effort to earn your time, energy, and affection. The woman who maintains self-respect and boundaries doesn't do it to manipulate or play games. She does it because she genuinely values herself and her time enough to require that others demonstrate they value it too through their actions and consistency. This is why the bitch, the woman with standards and boundaries, often gets better treatment than the nice girl who bends over backward. Not because men prefer meanness, but because they're attracted to and respect self-respect. Number 2. Why being too nice backfires. Here's the uncomfortable truth about being too nice. When a woman gives too much too soon, she becomes predictable and taken for granted. Overpleasing kills mystery and effort from the man, and approval-seeking creates a one-sided dynamic that destroys attraction. Think about things you've received easily versus things you had to work for. The things you worked for. You valued them more, treated them more carefully, appreciated them longer. The same psychology applies to relationships. When a woman gives too much too soon, making herself completely available, doing everything for them, being endlessly accommodating, never expressing needs or boundaries, she becomes predictable. There's no mystery, no challenge, no need for effort. Overpleasing kills mystery and effort from men. If they already have your complete availability, your endless accommodation, your constant approval, what is there left to work toward? The pursuit ends because they've already caught you completely. The approval-seeking behavior is particularly destructive. When you're constantly trying to prove you're good enough, lovable enough, worth keeping, through excessive giving, people-pleasing, abandoning your own needs, you communicate the opposite of what you intend. Instead of communicating, I'm valuable and you should want me, approval-seeking communicates, I don't believe I'm valuable enough as I am, so I'll try to earn your approval through my actions. This creates a one-sided dynamic where they receive everything and give nothing because you've shown you'll accept that imbalance. The backfire happens because the very things you're doing to secure love and commitment, the endless giving, the constant availability, the suppression of your needs, are the things that destroy attraction and breed contempt. From what I've seen, this is one of the most painful patterns because women are often doing exactly what they've been told is good girlfriend behavior, only to watch attraction and respect disappear despite their efforts. Now, as you can imagine, constantly giving without balance doesn't inspire gratitude. It breeds entitlement. That's why when there's no friction, no mystery, no moments where your no teaches value to your yes, his nervous system stops registering your effort as something special and starts expecting it as baseline. So the challenge isn't just understanding that being too nice backfires, it's learning how to be warm and caring without overgiving, generous without self-abandoning, kind without becoming a doormat, because swinging too far in either direction creates problems. Excessive niceness breeds contempt, while excessive coldness prevents real connection. Most women either continue over-pleasing and giving too much too soon because they fear that holding back makes them selfish or unloving, slowly eroding their own needs and boundaries until resentment builds and the relationship becomes unhealthy, or they overcorrect into coldness and withholding that prevents genuine intimacy from developing, creating distance rather than healthy boundaries. Understanding how to be genuinely kind from a place of choice rather than compulsively nice from a place of fear, maintaining warmth while also maintaining standards. Being generous without being depleted is crucial because men are attracted to women who give from overflow rather than from emptiness. The difference between women who successfully balance warmth with boundaries and those who either overgive into resentment or withhold into isolation often comes down to specific shifts in how they relate to their own needs and desires. Comment nice, and I'll reveal the 3 ways to be warm and kind without being too nice versus the 3 patterns that either lead to depletion or prevent real intimacy. Number 3. Independence is magnetic. What if the most attractive quality you can develop is independence? A woman with her own life, goals, and boundaries naturally creates attraction where her time and energy feel valuable, and she's not chased because she's distant, but because she's fulfilled, creating natural magnetism without manipulation. Think of independence like having your own gravitational pull. You're not orbiting someone else's life. You have your own center of gravity that others are drawn toward. This creates completely different dynamics than neediness or dependency. A woman with her own life doesn't make a man her entire world. She has friends, hobbies, goals, passions, interests that exist independently of the relationship. Her life is full and meaningful with or without romantic partnership. This fullness creates natural boundaries around her time and energy. She can't be available 24/7 because she has her own life to live. She can't drop everything for someone because she has commitments and priorities. This scarcity of access makes her time valuable. Her time and energy feel valuable because they're legitimately limited. She's not playing hard to get. She's genuinely busy living a full life. When she chooses to spend time with someone, it's a real choice and sacrifice of other opportunities rather than default availability. The key distinction, she's not chased because she's distant, but because she's fulfilled. Distance without fulfillment is just avoidance. But fulfillment that creates natural boundaries around time and energy is attractive because it signals high value and healthy self-sufficiency. Men are drawn to this because it relieves them of the burden of being someone's entire source of happiness and meaning. When you have your own fulfilling life, they're enhancement rather than necessity. This removes pressure while increasing attraction. The independence also maintains mystery and novelty. When you have your own experiences, growth and evolution happening independently, you remain interesting and dynamic rather than static and predictable. Number 4. Boundaries are the foundation of attraction. Here's what creates lasting attraction and respect. Boundaries are the foundation. Clear standards show what you tolerate and what you don't, and saying no at the right moment is often more powerful than saying yes, because boundaries create respect and emotional safety that approval-seeking destroys. Think of boundaries like the frame of a house. Without clear frame, the structure is unstable and eventually collapses. Boundaries provide the structure that allows relationships to be stable, safe, and sustainable. Clear standards show what you tolerate and what you don't. This isn't about being rigid or unforgiving, it's about having clear internal clarity about your non-negotiables and deal breakers, and communicating them through your actions and responses. Boundaries might include how you expect to be spoken to. how much inconsistency you'll accept, what behaviors cross lines for you, how you require conflicts to be handled, what level of effort and investment you need to stay engaged. Saying no at the right moment is often more powerful than saying yes. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your values or standards, you demonstrate self-respect. You show that your boundaries aren't negotiable and that access to you requires meeting certain standards. This no might look like declining dates that don't work for your schedule, refusing to accept disrespectful communication, walking away from situations that violate your values, ending relationships that don't meet your needs, or simply declining to overextend yourself. Boundaries create respect and emotional safety. When someone knows your boundaries, they know how to interact with you successfully. They know what behavior will be met with continued presence and what behavior will result in consequences or distance. This clarity is actually comforting rather than restricting. Secure people appreciate clear boundaries because it removes guesswork and provides framework for successful interaction. Only people who want to violate boundaries resist them. The boundaries also protect both people. They prevent resentment from building through boundary violations. They ensure the relationship operates in ways both people can sustain long-term rather than requiring one person to continually sacrifice their well-being. Quality men respect and are attracted to women with clear boundaries because it demonstrates self-respect, provides clear framework for interaction, and ensures the relationship can be sustainable rather than depleting one person for the other's comfort. Number 5. Don't overgive. Make them invest. The fifth principle for holding someone for life is don't overgive. Make them invest where you give gradually, based on their consistency and effort, refusing to give affection, time, or energy to someone who hasn't earned it, because healthy mystery keeps the dynamic alive. Think of relationship investment like a ladder you climb together rather than an elevator you take them up in. They need to participate in the climb, putting in effort at each rung, rather than being carried to the top without any investment of their own. Give gradually, based on their consistency and effort. Early stages get friendly but guarded energy. As they demonstrate consistency, you open more. As they invest more, you reciprocate. The giving always matches or slightly lags behind their demonstrated investment. Don't give affection, time, or energy to someone who hasn't earned it. This isn't about being cold or withholding. It's about being discerning. Your time, energy, and affection are valuable. They should be given to people who demonstrate through actions that they value them. If someone is inconsistent, breadcrumbing, showing minimal effort, or treating you as optional, your response should be proportional. Limited investment from them gets limited investment from you. You're not punishing them, you're simply matching their energy rather than overcompensating. Healthy mystery keeps the dynamic alive. When you give everything immediately, there's nothing left to discover. But when you give gradually, revealing more as trust and investment build, you maintain interest and forward momentum. The mystery isn't about being fake or hiding who you are. It's about natural reveal that happens as genuine intimacy develops over time, rather than premature vulnerability with someone who hasn't demonstrated they're trustworthy with it. This gradual investment strategy ensures that people who aren't serious self-select out early because they're not willing to invest the effort required. And people who are serious demonstrate that through consistent investment that earns more of your openness over time. From what I've seen, women who maintain this investment-based giving rather than overgiving early are far more likely to end up with committed partners who value them, precisely because only people capable of investment make it through their standards. Number 6. The respect dynamic. Here's what determines whether someone will value and commit. The respect dynamic. Men naturally observe how a woman handles mixed signals, low effort, or disrespect. And a confident woman doesn't chase or argue. She withdraws, resets, and returns to her life. Because respect comes from self-respect first. Think of respect like a mirror. People can only respect you to the degree you respect yourself. If you accept disrespect, inconsistency, or poor treatment, you signal that this is acceptable. If you don't accept it, you signal that higher standards apply. Men naturally observe how a woman handles mixed signals, low effort, or disrespect. This isn't conscious testing, usually. It's unconscious observation. They watch what you do when they don't follow through, when they're inconsistent, when they offer minimal effort. Your response to these situations teaches them how to treat you. If poor treatment is met with pursuit, explanation, or acceptance, you've taught them that poor treatment has no consequences. If poor treatment is met with withdrawal and distance, you've taught them it costs them access to you. A confident woman doesn't chase or argue when faced with poor treatment. Chasing proves they matter more to you than you matter to yourself. Arguing proves you're still invested in convincing them to treat you better rather than simply requiring it through your responses. Instead, she withdraws, resets, and returns to her life. When treatment doesn't meet her standards, she simply becomes less available. Not dramatically, not with announcements, just with natural consequence. Less access, less energy, less investment from her. This withdrawal isn't punishment or manipulation, it's natural self-protection and self-respect. When someone demonstrates they don't value your time and energy, you redirect that time and energy back to yourself and to people who do value it. Respect comes from self-respect first. You cannot command respect from others if you don't first respect yourself enough to have and maintain standards. Your self-respect is the foundation that makes external respect possible. The dynamic creates a powerful feedback loop. Your self-respect creates boundaries, boundaries create consequences for poor treatment, consequences teach better treatment. Better treatment allows more openness and investment from you, which deepens connection and commitment. Number 7. The transformation, from too nice to confident. The final piece is transformation, from too nice to confident, where you reclaim your power, your voice, and your identity. Stop bending your life around someone else and become the woman who is valued because she values herself, where the relationship deepens because your strength inspires consistency. This transformation isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming more fully yourself, rather than abandoning yourself to maintain connection with others. It's returning home to your own value and worth. Reclaim your power, your voice, and your identity. Stop silencing yourself to keep peace. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop abandoning your needs to accommodate theirs. Reclaim the fullness of who you are. Stop bending your life around someone else. Your life has value and meaning independently of romantic relationship. Your goals matter. Your friendships matter. Your interests matter. Stop making someone else the center while you orbit around them. Become the woman who is valued because she values herself. When you genuinely value yourself, your time, your energy, your presence, your affection, others sense that and respond accordingly. Your self-valuation sets the standard for how others value you. The relationship deepens because your strength inspires consistency. When you're no longer accepting crumbs, inconsistency, or poor treatment, they must step up or step out. Quality people step up. And those who step up create the depth and commitment you've been seeking. This transformation often feels risky because you're releasing control over others' responses. You're no longer managing their feelings, accommodating their limitations, or over-functioning to keep things comfortable. You're simply being yourself and requiring reciprocity. But this risk is actually safety. Because relationships built on your self-abandonment were never safe or sustainable, they required constant performance and suppression. Relationships built on mutual respect and reciprocity are the ones that actually last. From what I've seen, women who make this transformation often lose relationships that weren't serving them anyway, but they gain massive self-respect, peace, and eventually attract partners who are capable of meeting them at their level rather than requiring them to dim their light.